MSK IX or IXP is more than just a regular IXP. So thank you so much. I'm very happy to welcome you all here. And I'm happy to talk about this topic. Thank you so much, RIPE NTC, for inviting me to CAPIF. Actually, I've attended all the CAPIFs. And I would also like to say that our IXP turned 30 this year. That's quite an age for IT. I must say that's a milestone, especially for an IT sector. And out of 30, I worked for 29 years in this company. And my career started from an engineer, and I am now a technical director. So I do have quite an experience, and we try not to stop where we are, and we don't not to kind of delay our development. And across these years, new and challenging things have been happening, and the work is extremely interesting. We have the technical team that hasn't changed since the establishment of the company. We only add new people and new staff because we have new tasks to deal with. Let me make a kind of historic review of what we've done from the start and what kind of principles we practice and exercise to build a reliable infrastructure. Okay, is there a clicker? How does it work? So tell me, what is this? What is this? What is the device? Okay, back. Great. So it's a snake. And I'm a technical guy. I'm not a marketing person, but the first commutator was established in MTS NDA in Moscow. That was a small Cisco box, DDI switch. We have even a small museum where you can still see that very first device. In 1995, the IXP was set up, and the first contract was printed like on a printing machine and not a computer even. It was concluded with the telecommunication operator, and it was Rosneft. That was our partner, and that could act as a neutral. I mean, it was selected as someone that can act in a very unbiased manner towards all the market players. So you can see all the stages. We've built a point in St. Petersburg. We became an independent company. But in 2005, a unique platform was set up, which is a peering forum. And on behalf of our company, I invite you to attend and participate in this forum, peering forum. Usually it takes place at the end of the year. This time is going to take place on the 17th of November in Moscow. Attendance is free of charge, but you need to get registered for it because, I mean, you need to book a seat there. And it includes quite a number of presentations. I'm the member of the program committee. We are currently drafting the agenda. We're going to discuss a lot of interesting and burning issues. And about 1,000 people are planning to attend this annual forum. So it's very interesting, and it usually presents the whole community in all of its diversity. Then we joined the EURIX Association. We were the growth ranking leaders. I remember actually we came there for the first time, and we spoke about IXP, and a lot of people were really surprised to see that Moscow has an IXP with the parameters and the volume that it had back then. In 2010, Hans spoke about the NOGs, and we had this kind of similar conference of ENOGs, and it gathered the community successfully. I will speak separately about the technical platform. And when it comes to the news that makes us stand out amongst other platforms, is that we have a very powerful television broadcasting program. We, in fact, use our infrastructure to support a number of television channels, and we have about 9,000 television signals that pass through the platforms, and that actually is a very kind of high requirements. You know, imagine like any frame drops out and the quality immediately declines, and therefore any package loss is critical. So, I mean, we as an IXP are quite sensitive to that, and therefore our requirements are very tough. So, and the rest is just a trend of the latest days. Well, speaking of the internet exchange globally, then we can observe a certain crisis, because the exchange implies that people got together in some geographic location, they have organized an IXP, then they moved on to the other one and the other one and the other one. But we need new companies, and that is challenging. And actually, we therefore set up this niche for ourselves. So we've established the protected peering groups, and we use the infrastructure to build the mini IXPs. So it's not just random thing, and not just a random mini IXP. We usually customize them to certain clients, to certain customers, to certain demands, such as financial market and so on. So because there are different companies who have interest in creating their own closed IXP-based infrastructures. So these are the approaches to our development. Again, I may not need to go through everything, but we are one of the points in the world who has created the exchange based on a route server system. This was the very first, actually, we did with a breakthrough approach, because not in Europe they didn't have that. Then they had only peering, and you had to peer with one another. You had to actually. It was a kind of closed club kind of situation. You had to submit your application, then you you need to get approval from two existing members, and it was kind of very secluded and complicated. But we set up these route servers, and about 85% of the participants use this server. And it's quite good because it's very beneficial, because the new participants can get access to the route servers, and then the VCIX, except, of course, some complicated or complex players who prefer peering instead. So these are the steps of our development. Of course, we need some provisions or reserves of the infrastructure, reserves of the participants. The speed was growing. And the last is that the world of internet became very susceptible or very vulnerable to different cyber attacks. And actually, the structure of the attacks changed, and the approaches changed, and IX being the point that has very high-speed data transfer, actually need to be better protected from different attacks. And the content, of course, was another milestone for IX general development and evolution. When we build some projects, new projects, we, of course, need to choose the indicators. Service level indicators, and it is important for us to treat the platform building in terms of guaranteeing and securing certain quality. So here are the indicators that are especially important for that. We monitor them. We try to maintain certain indicators, and we try to avoid kind of hitting the threshold levels. But now I'd like to talk about the objectives, service level objectives that we have. So we set up certain objectives for ourselves. And here, actually, the objectives are lower than what we have at the moment. So these are the guaranteed objectives. The loss of package, for example. The objective is very low. It's 0.00001% of the total traffic, for example. So you can see the standards here. Also, the push-through capacity needs to be very good. The PGP needs to be stable. We have tested our servers, and actually we work with the software developers in Czech Republic who designed them on Bird, for example, developed it on Bird, and together, and thanks to this collaboration, we were able to achieve a very high level of the solutions that we use. So as for the equipment, and I'm again making the historical review. So a Catalyst 2200 was back in 1995. Then again, we used Cisco to upgrade the equipment in 1996. That was the Catalyst of 3000 series. 97, that was 5000 or 5.5. And in 2000, we had a very interesting solution I think, 97 and 2000, we tried ATM technologies. You remember, right? They existed, so it was like a mix, Ethernet and ATM combined under one platform. Then it kind of faded out, and it will continue towards Ethernet. The capacities grew, and we use these modular platforms as the core of the network, and they allowed us to grow the capacity and to develop the capacity. So in 2010, we had a kind of a significant shift towards other vendors. For Sten was a new vendor. It was the big kind of vendor with a high density, unblocked solutions. So it was important then. It was extreme and kind of a shift towards Huawei. Currently, we use Huawei platform, which guarantees high density of the signal. This year, we're restructuring all of our platform, given that we have 400 gigabytes in our trunk line, in our pathways. And actually, we're not even considering anything under 300. As for the topology, we considered, and actually we designed a mathematical model. This is the example of how the calculations are made. Usually the infrastructure is kind of ring-based. There are different connections between different platforms. You can create the full mesh, but eventually we decided the multi-core topology is the kind of solution for us. This is the kind of at the end of the slide, because it is a compromise between accessibility and node connectivity, reliability, and most importantly, scalability. It is quite scalable in terms of communication channels, in terms of number of nodes, and it also, there is a protection against short circuit and electricity fail, disconnection. But however, we can understand where traffic goes and how to forecast it. They had different experiments with NPNS. The transmission over L3, but we decided that the simplest configuration is the most robust and has fewer delays and latencies. But our current topology is not here, but it is kind of C-core topology that has several layers of cores. This above the squares that you can see. On top of that, we also have some few more squares, which guarantee a higher level of reserves and reservability, and it allows us to concentrate traffic for another data center and also distribute the traffic across the city and to other cities as well. Currently, we have the capacity of 853 terabytes. Quite a high number of nodes, 46. That is, we used our platform to build 5 more platforms. And there is now a new platform that we build as a media base. It will be a platform to exchange media content. And this year we are modernizing the network, and actually we are shifting towards a new DVDM solutions. These are the 400G ports. This is kind of a snapshot from our client cabinet clients data. So this is quite an overburdened client, and actually you can see that our supply of 400G is stable, uninterrupted. So as for the services and platform, yes, IX is the main platform. On top of that, we also have a well-developed DNS network. We support the top level, top tier domains, also the localized domains, and then we place them across the world. I'm very thankful to our colleagues in Kazakhstan for DNS exchange, and we were able to set up a DNS server in Kazakhstan, which allows us to access the national domains of Russia and Russian zone. We also help with telecommunication channels, collocation. We also the media based at the TV project, protected peering groups. I tried to talk about them, but Let me give you just a number. One of such groups has more than 100 connections. 100 participants have closed infrastructure that was overlaid onto our network and then use it as a closed group. It's protected, it doesn't have any access to internet, and it's for internal data exchange only.
We also actively introduce various DDoS solutions, DDoS protection, and have some of the new developments together with vendors. Now we're upgrading one of the solutions. Hopefully, we'll make it to the logical end soon, and we'll have a very powerful security system in place. Possible services like we've got the NTP service. This is precise time system, distributed time system across the regions. These are included into the access packages to the main system. If you take a look at the structure, the current structure, well, of course, the main customers, telecom operators and content providers. This is the majority of our customers. We keep an eye on this and we analyze who gets connected to us. We look at the approximate volumes of data. We see that the corporate sector is growing because of our extra services and the cloud platforms. We can see that the growth continues and it's not standing still. I just would like to say a couple of words about the new trends we are observing, current trends. Well, yesterday and today, they talked a lot about this already, what we can see over the past few years. Security, this is one of the main trends. Security that helps to take this out of the other issues we're having, the active collaboration for the business development and partnership. AI, well, you can't really get anywhere without it. This is already a solid trend. So the look into the future that also tried to identify the IXPs, the projects like ours. These will look as distributed hubs or nodes that will increase the system failure-free operations and will reduce the highway channel load. It will help us to build scalable elements of the infrastructure, make this infrastructure neutral. And the latency and quality requirements, these are very important. And over the past few years, we've been paying special attention to these issues. And we are the leaders in this area because we spend a lot of effort on that. Any of our research, we do some lab tests. And these lab tests help us to avoid any problems in the network on a larger scale. And IXPs, of course, there will be some critical points for the development of the digital economy. This ends my presentation. Thank you very much.